Hello, everybody, and welcome to the College Hockey South podcast. My name is Henry Yoho, and I'm going to be hosting this podcast in conjunction with College Hockey South here over the next few weeks and of the season. This is going to be a podcast kind of highlighting some of the personalities, the people, the coaches, players, people around College Hockey South that go into making College Hockey South like one of the biggest conferences here in AAU college hockey. And so, over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be bringing you some discussion with, like I said before, players, coaches, people around the conference that are going to kind of bring some of the stories from around this level of hockey to light. I think it's something that's going to be able to bring a lot of, spotlight on some of the stories that we've got going on that aren't getting told. So I think that this is going to be a great opportunity for, our listeners to see some of the personalities and things that go on around the conference. And so this is something I'm extremely excited about to be able to work with College Hockey South and bringing to all of you guys. A little bit of background about me. I've been working around this level of the game since 2017, whenever I started at the University of Tampa. And I graduated from the University of Tampa in 2021. And with the men's hockey team at the University of Tampa, I did play-by-play for them on the broadcast from 2018 to 2023. And so that meant that this was the first season in a few years that I hadn't been doing the broadcasting for them, as I was kind of moving on to doing some other sort of opportunities like this here at the conference level. And I've also done stuff at the national level with the AAU College Hockey National Championships. So if you've tuned into any of those games, the National Championship games over the last few years, there's a good chance you've heard me on those broadcasts there. And I'm going to be bringing some of the same terrible, nonsensical takes to this podcast. So if you hadn't gotten enough of me there, then you're going to hear a little bit more of me here. And so yeah, I'm really excited to go on this journey with all of you and take you behind College Hockey South. And so our first episode here is going to have a couple of guests. We're going to have guests from USF and the University of Tampa women's team. They've got a big weekend matchup on Friday. It's going to be Gasparilla weekend here in Tampa. We'll get into that a little bit more in the upcoming interviews with both of those teams. And so I'm really excited to share some of the stories that's going on with them. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy our first guest. And before we send it over to them, I want to send along a couple of thank yous. First, going out to our producer, Harrison Smadjevitz. I want to say a thank you to him for doing some of the production work here, a lot of the dirty work that I know that I'm not capable of doing. So I really appreciate him and the time that he's going to be putting into this. And I also want to send along a thank you as well to our commissioner, Kyle Nell, for kind of coming up with this idea and kind of letting me kind of run with it and putting me and Harrison together on this project. And I'm excited to see where this thing takes us. And I'm excited to bring it to all of you guys. So with that being said, we're going to send it on over to our first guest right now. Her name is Bella Buontempo. She is the president of the USF Women's Hockey Club, and we're going to send it over there now. All right. It is my privilege to welcome on our first guest to the College Hockey South podcast. She is the president of the USF Women's Hockey Club. Her name is Bella Buontempo. Bella, thanks so much for joining us and being our first guest on here.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So one of the reasons that we wanted to feature the USF women's team this weekend is because of the big Gasparilla matchup this weekend between you guys and the University of Tampa. You guys have your own special Gasparilla jerseys along with the U Tampa team as well. Just for a little background for anyone outside the Tampa area who doesn't know, Gasparilla is like a big pirate themed celebration here in the city of Tampa. It's a big crazy thing that's been going on for over 100 years. There's a pirate invasion and a parade, and it's just a good time all around here in the city of Tampa. So I was just curious. I know that you're modeling this jersey for us that you guys are gonna be wearing on Friday. Can you give us a little insight and sort of into the design and some of the inspiration that went into creating this jersey for the special weekend?
Yeah, for sure. So this jersey, I actually have another one with me right now. This jersey was made by Jimmy Jarekas. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. So he made this for us, and it's really cool. It's got a bull skull in it, and then the eyes are the state of Florida. And then during Gasparilla, everybody gets beads, and like beads are just thrown out from like all the boats and everything. So we have that on the collars. And it's also Gasparilla is on Bayshore Boulevard. So we have the Bayshore Boulevard marks on the bottoms and on
Yeah.
the sleeves. Um, so yeah, that was really cool. Tyler Moss had reached out to me and asked if we wanted to use the design because Jimmy made this awesome design and he wanted us to use it. So I said, yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, yeah, we know Jimmy. He's got some good, talents and stuff with the designs and stuff. I was curious if you had like a favorite feature of it. Like I think that mine I think is like the beads around the collar. Like that's obviously like one of the bigger things about going to Gasparilla and everything. I was curious if you had a favorite feature of it as well.
Yeah, I would say the beads are one of my favorites. And then I think the eyes being Florida, like the state
Yeah,
of it was really cool. I think that's like a really, really cool attention to detail thing that not everybody might notice, but I think it's really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, no, that was what I thought too the first time that I saw it. Like you see like the bowl and stuff, but you had to look closer to realize that it was the state of Florida. So that was a pretty cool feature. And I also know that these jerseys are also going to be for sale. Do you know where people can find these?
Yeah, so if you go on our Instagram, it's W Hockey Club USF. It's right in our bio. So you can
Mhm.
buy the Gasparilla jerseys, and then our regular game day jerseys are also for sale right now.
Gotcha. And so you guys are playing against the University of Tampa women's team on Friday afternoon at 3:15 at Advent Health Center Ice up in Wesley Chapel. Um, yeah, I was just curious, you know, looking ahead to this matchup, it's going to be the first game for you guys since November 12th. Um, yeah, how's it going to be like getting back into the game action after the long layoff going up against one of your rivals too?
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be hard. You know, Tampa's a really, really good team. We
Hmm.
got to play a scrimmage last week against an independent women's team, Sirens Hockey Club. And we won 42 against them. So thankfully
Nice.
we don't have to jump right into playing UT and we've sort of gotten some gameplay down since our long winter break. But
Mhm.
we've had practices since and we know what we need to work on for playing UT and we know our defensive strategies really well. So I think going into it and just remembering what we did last game and what we need to improve on. I think a lot of the girls have been watching film and just going back to watching what they did last game on like live bun and everything and just really mentally preparing for the game. We also
Mhm.
play Miami on Sunday too.
Right.
So we played Miami once in Clearwater and we won, and then we went to Miami and we lost both of those games. So it is the games are very beatable and they're very winnable. So I
Yeah.
think the girls have just things individually that they're gonna work on to prepare for this weekend.
Uh, and then will you guys be wearing the Gasparilla jerseys on Sunday as well against Miami?
Yes, yeah, for both games.
Gotcha, gotcha. Um, so I was looking through, as you mentioned, the Instagram W Hockey Club USF for you guys on Instagram. I was looking through like some of you guys' older posts, and I saw that you were actually, the like founding member of the club. I was curious, like how that sort of process came to be. Like, was there like a group of you guys like skating at USF previously? Like, obviously, this is the first official year of having a women's division within College Hockey South. I was just curious, like, sort of how the process kind of came together for you guys.
Yeah, so it was a really, really long process. So I when I was looking at USF to come to school, one of the first thing I
Mhm.
asked was is it possible to create a women's team here? Because I knew I wanted to come to the South because I'm from Jersey.
Mhm.
Also wanted to play hockey and they were all for it. They told me, it's gonna be a long process, but we would definitely love to have a women's team here. And um so my senior year after I had committed in high school, I reached out to sort of everybody that was already at USF and people that had committed, and I asked them if they would want to join the team if I had started one, and I got a lot of positive responses. So I came to USF knowing I wanted to start one. And then the school sat me down and they were like, "Well, it's going to take like 2 years to actually
Yeah.
start a team." So and at that point, I was like, "Okay, I'm already here. Might as well start it." So my freshman year, not a whole lot happened with it. We were just on like probation for the whole year basically. And
Right.
then um, last year, we played in one FWHL tournament in the fall, which we actually wound up winning in like the novice division. And then this year was the year that it really, really all came together. And now we have like 24 girls rostered.
Mhm. Gotcha. Yeah, I know like how much it has to go into it, and I was also curious too, like obviously the first season of being like an official team within College Hockey South, like what kind of like promotional efforts and like fundraising and stuff has kind of had to go on behind the scenes to help make it possible in this first season?
Yeah, we've definitely had to do a lot of fundraising. We're lucky enough that we get a good amount of money from the school, but it's still not enough, especially because, a bunch of the schools are more northern and there are only three Florida schools. So
Right.
it's a lot of traveling for us. So we've done like a lot of little fundraisers, like we've done like percentage nights at like Chipotle and like Blaze Pizza.
Uh,
Um, the jersey sales have helped us. Last year we did a GoFundMe and we raised a lot of money from that. So we've had to do like a lot of fundraising just to be able to sort of afford everything.
yeah.
But it's working out so far.
No, yeah, no, I've been around like this level of the game like for a while now, and it's crazy like the amount of money and sacrifices, time, and everything that has to go into making a successful operation, and just have to respect everything that goes into it. And I'm curious like about how you guys would assess like your first season so far. Like we mentioned, two regular season games left, both of them this weekend. How would you kind of like assess like how things have gone in the first part of the season on the ice, like compared to what the expectations were? Like how have you felt like things have gone on the ice?
Yeah, so our season's definitely gone, I think, a lot better than a lot of us thought it was going to. Our first couple of practices, we had a lot of newer girls that didn't totally know how to skate, didn't know all of the rules, but luckily we do have a lot of girls that have played for so long that have really helped them out, and our coach has helped the newer girls, and we got lucky that our newer girls didn't just pick up the sport just because they thought it would be cool to say that they play hockey. They loved the sport before and they wanted the opportunity to be able to play. So
Mhm.
uh, they really, really worked hard off the ice and on the ice and independently on their own. So we got to go up and play Georgia and Auburn, and we did really, really well against them at the beginning of the year. And from there, they've only improved. So, UT is obviously really tough to beat, but I think every time we've played them, we've gotten better against them.
Mhm.
Um, and so I think the more we play UT, the better we're going to be against all the other teams. So yeah, overall our season has been better than everybody expected.
Gotcha. And you guys will also be going to the women's playoffs coming up in February, from February 9th through 11th up in Clarksville, Tennessee, outside of Nashville. And so you guys just have two regular season games remaining before that. So like, what are you guys like hoping to accomplish, through the end of the season to sort of carry some momentum into your second season next year?
Yeah, I think finishing playoff strong is going to be a big thing. We went and we beat, like I said before, Georgia and Auburn. So I think going back and being able to beat them, even though they've obviously developed, they probably got some better girls, but so have we. Keeping that momentum going, and then if we happen to play UT or South Carolina, playing well against the teams that we've never played against before, and then staying with the teams that have beat us in the past, I think are going to be really, really important for the overall morale of the team.
Mm,
Playing well this weekend is really important to us for going into playoffs and then going into next season.
gotcha. And talking about you a little bit more specifically, I know that you said that you were originally from New Jersey. Like, so what sort of stood out about USF that made it kind of the place that you wanted to spend the next few years of your life going to college?
Yeah, so I was a COVID year, so a lot
Mm,
of the schools up north were closed or they were doing online. And I always knew that I wanted to go to school in the South, a little bit of a change of scenery, just something different. And my parents, it was really important that I got like a normal college career, and a college experience. So USF was completely open, so they were like, let's try a Southern school. And um, like I had said before, I knew I wanted to come into a school with hockey or with hockey potential. So everywhere I
mm,
went, I asked if hockey was possible. And then also, I'm a double major right now in
mm,
criminology, international relations, and then I also have a minor in Italian. So
yeah,
getting all of that criteria was really, really important. And USF was the one that, they told me all of it was possible. So I came down, I visited, and I basically committed on the spot.
yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I know like the men's team's like been around for a while, and it's pretty cool. Like that you were kind of like a founding member, like for the USF women, coming around, after the men's team had been around and established for so long. So that's been kind of cool to see that established. And then another thing I was curious about, I always love talking to people about around hockey, is was there like what was like kind of the origin of you kind of falling in love with the game? Like were there like any like people, experiences, or like places where you kind of fell in love with the game and like kind of inspired you to want to play at the collegiate level?
Yeah, so I've grown up around hockey. My mom's been a big Devils fan her whole life, and then
Hmm.
brother played his whole life, and I always grew up skating, like always played street hockey with him, but I was always playing other sports, so I never got into it. And then my eighth grade year, when I was in middle school, my high school actually started a women's team, and I'm from kind of a small town, so they had reached out to me and they asked me if I wanted to play, if I wanted to get started. So sort of I had always been a part of the hockey community. And then my high school team was like, you should definitely play.
Hmm.
And then I got to see how that program grew from it was like 13 girls when I joined the team, and when I graduated, it was like 60. So I saw that and I saw that community, and I saw that sort of start from beginning. So I was like, oh, I could definitely do that down south.
Yeah, definitely. I always love like hearing like people like the origin stories, like where they kind of fell in love with the game. One last question that I had for you, like obviously like with AAU college hockey and this level of the game, we always hear so much about like the experiences of like hockey and being a part of the team, like kind of shaping you like for your time like after hockey, and after college, of course. And obviously founding the club and like being the president, like those are like tremendous experiences that you can have like during your time in college. Like, how do you think that those sort of experiences will like kind of translate to like your future career, like your time after hockey, your time after college? Like, how do you think that's gonna be translate to the workforce?
Yeah, it's I can already see it now. I think it's really I'm in like a unique position with founding the team. I think with other presidents of different clubs, it's everything is sort of given to them on like a silver platter almost like, oh, these are the contacts you need, like this is where you'll practice, this is like who you're going to work with. And I had to go out and find all those contacts, and I had to find the right people to talk to, and I had to really like show that I should be a member of the hockey community down here. And so I think that's definitely going to help in like the real world where I'm trying to find my way in like different professions and everything, just like really like trying to like set my foot into different places.
Mhm.
um Learning to not take no for an answer, basically. It's definitely helped.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say like, it's one thing to become like a club president of something like on campus, but to build something from the ground up, I think that really says a lot, like all the work that has to go into it. And that's something that I definitely respect about you and the team so far in this first season. Well, I also want to mention your guys matchup at 3:15 Friday afternoon at Advent Health Center Ice is also going to be being streamed on the College Hockey South YouTube channel. So if you're not able to make it in person, you can check out the game on there. And if you're not able to make the matchup on Friday, you can also check out the USF women also playing against Miami at the Clearwater Ice Arena, and that's at 12 o'clock, right, on Sunday.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So a second chance if you're not able to come out and see the USF girls against Tampa, you can see them on Sunday against Miami. So Bella, I want to say thanks so much for joining us and being our first guest. I loved getting to hear your story, and I look forward to following the action with you guys this weekend.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You got it. All right, guys, welcome back to the College Hockey South podcast. I'm joined now by two members of the University of Tampa Women's Hockey Club. We have Leah Klingel and Katie Powell with us. Thanks so much for joining us, you guys.
Yeah, thanks for having
Hi,
us.
thank you.
So one of the biggest reasons we wanted to have you guys on was to highlight the Gasparilla weekend matchup that you guys have coming up with USF. Um, in our last segment, we were looking at the USF women's teams, their special Gasparilla jerseys. We kind of got into the explanation of like kind of the background of what Gasparilla is and so forth. So if you guys would like, give us like a little bit of the insight on the jersey design and like where some of the inspiration came from for you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, Leah,
Katie,
you want to go ahead and take it? You got the
yeah, I will.
jersey.
So I've been to two Gasparillas. Obviously, it's a very Tampa special. It's like our favorite day of the whole year in Tampa. So obviously for the Gatsby jerseys, they're clearly pretty sick, but it's a pirate festival for anybody who doesn't know. So we got I guess I can kind of stand up here. We have a pirate skull and bones with the little UT head. Obviously our red, white, and black colors. We got some palm trees on the sleeve. One of my favorite parts of our regular jerseys and these is I love like the UT on the shoulder. I think it adds a nice touch. But I mean, I think it represents us well. It represents the Tampa holiday.
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say, like, did either of you guys like have a hand in like the actual design or anything behind it, or like who kind of was like behind where that came from?
That was mostly Casey. I think she kind of looked at like what goes into Casey Kennedy, our captain.
Yeah.
I think she kind of looked at what Gatsby is, you know, the big pirate fest, everybody getting out. And, you know, the boys, I think, kind of have a similar jersey vibe. So I think she kind of went with what she had seen previously and kind of looked at UT's colors, the logo, our jerseys now with the minaret on them, with the palm trees. So, and I think she did a really good job on the design personally.
Yeah, I was gonna say like between these jerseys and the other like main jerseys you guys had this year, like you're hitting like all like the Tampa and like UT symbols. I was gonna say I like my favorite feature of these ones is probably like the palm trees across the bottom, because I remember a few years ago the Lightning did like a kind of like a fake like mock jersey with like the palm trees across like the bottom of it, and that never ended up making it to the ice. So I think it's pretty cool that we're gonna actually see that sort of design now sort of coming on the ice. So you guys are playing against USF on Friday at 3:15 up at Wesley Chapel at Advent Health Center Ice. I saw that you guys are actually playing a doubleheader on Friday, playing Miami afterwards up at the Nest Hockey Academy. And I was just going to ask, first game for you guys since October 21st against Miami. What's it going to be like getting back into the action with two games in one night on Friday?
It's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
You know, we try our best to stay conditioned. I mean, rough conditioning wise.
Yeah.
I've been hitting the gym, and I know the other girls. Some of them will go to cycling classes together. Obviously, 2 games kind of back to back is going to be difficult no matter what shape you're in. But I think we're ready for it. You know, we always work hard, and we're always going to put 100% effort in. But I know we're in good shape, so.
Yeah, absolutely. And then will you guys be wearing the Gasparilla jerseys for both of the games? I know you guys have to travel a little bit, but is that the plan to wear for both games?
Yeah, the plan is to wear it just, you know, represent the whole Gatsby weekend.
Gotcha. And I know that you guys have these for sale as well. Where can we find those if somebody wanted to buy one?
You can go on the Vibera website, and I believe it's also linked in our Instagram bio.
Gotcha.
We've been posting it everywhere, but
yeah, it's also on our Facebook.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I was going to mention at UTampa W Hockey on Instagram. I'm pretty sure that it's the same handle for Twitter/X as well. So getting into like how this season has gone for you guys, obviously like this is the first year of having a women's division within College Hockey South. I know you guys like had been playing together like in the past in like sort of an unofficial capacity. I was curious, like, how did the process kind of come for you guys, like becoming like an official club this year? Like, what all kind of went into making that kind of happen this year?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot. So I actually started as a freshman, now a senior, graduated senior. So I was with them when we couldn't play anything. It was just games and then or scrimmage and then going to the women's league, which, you know, super thankful to be a part of that to get some competition. But I think we were just kind of looking at wanting to play something in our division because I know we were part of ACHA and we went up to Washington and, you know, kind of just killed everybody. So, you know, we kind of wanted a little bit more of something in our division in the South, you know, kind of have that so that younger kids, younger girls could look at us and go, wow, there is college hockey. So we had been working on this forever. For something in the South. So once we kind of saw Miami was getting a team and USF was getting a team, we're like, well, this is it. This is time. This is like the time to jump on it. And I think Kyle had reached out to Casey, or they kind of had some kind of partnership going. And that's kind of when the league was starting to come up and come together. And, you know, obviously we wanted to jump on that, get some local competition, get some people coming out and just having a good time.
Gotcha.
awesome. And I'm a freshman now, so
Hmm.
I'm also a local. So, growing up playing hockey and knowing that I was going to have to go up north if I wanted to have any sort of like really good hockey career, because there was nothing locally for me. I mean, even growing up, I played Florida Alliance. We would have to travel up Northeast, Michigan, Minnesota every other weekend to get any sort of games in. So it's really special to have um, a team and a really good program with committed girls close to home. So I didn't have to leave.
Gotcha.
Really awesome.
Yeah, and like I was gonna say, like obviously the guys' like start to the season has been really impressive. Obviously, like being undefeated speaks for itself. Do you think like the start to the season like can be attributed to like so many of you guys having played together like the last few years? Like what's kind of translated to you guys like getting off to like such a hot start to the season?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure Leah can touch on this as a freshman, but I mean, I would say just the fact some of us had played together and a lot of us had a really good hockey background to begin with. Leah.
I think we all grew up playing travel hockey, and that's kind of one of the things we all have in common is that we're so thankful to have something close because we all had those dreams of going up north. So it helped so much coming in with a bunch of committed girls and girls who had really high level programs, and then now coming here, I think it put us ahead of the competition a little bit.
Hmm.
But I mean, as a freshman, I can't really speak to playing with some of the girls in the past, but
Right.
Casey Kennedy, our captain, I did play in the same program as her. She's also a Florida local, but I think we just have a great coach and we all buy in. And I think the girls pick up stuff really fast from practices.
Gotcha. Yeah, like yeah, it's been like so impressive to see like some of the numbers you guys have been putting up this year. Like, some really lopsided scores in some games. I saw, in the 7 games you guys have played 84 goals for and only 9 against in 7 games. Like that's crazy. I wanted to ask like Katie as like a goaltender, like is it sometimes tough like whenever the actions seems to be at the other end of the ice so much when your team is like so dominant with the puck?
Yeah, it's definitely hard, I would say, to stay focused because,
Yeah.
once you're getting all those shots, you're in it, your attention is right there, you're focused, you're still warm, because then you kind of after warm-ups, then you're just sitting there, you get cold, you're having all that gear on, you get
Yeah.
tired. So, I definitely think it's a little harder when they're up there, but as a newer goalie for hockey, it's kind of nice. It takes a lot of that pressure off me to be like, okay, I have to be perfect all the time. So it definitely helps when we have that strong lines in front of me. So can't complain on that aspect, but
Mhm.
sometimes, you are like, where's the action? I want to play, I want to get in it. But um it's good on both sides, I would say.
Yeah. Are you planning to be in there for both games on Friday? Obviously, that could be a bit of a long night for sure.
Yeah, I'm unsure. So we did have a graduate student step up when they found
Okay.
out I was graduating. They weren't sure if I'd be able to still play.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to Kyle, since it is considered the same season, I'm still allowed to play. So I was super
Yeah.
thankful because I'm not ready to give up yet. We're on this national journey, hopefully. So
Yeah.
um, I'm hoping I should be in at least one game, maybe split the game. Not quite sure what we're doing yet, but I'm looking
Hmm.
forward to get back in the net.
Gotcha. Yeah. And before like getting into the rest of the season, I was gonna touch on something that is going on right now. And it's regarding Leah. I saw that you were the number one seed in this year's College Hockey South Best in Flow tournament. Do you know kind of how you became like the number one seed? Like, was that something like your teammates kind of nominated you for? Like, do you know how that kind of process played out?
I mean, I heard about well, I think I know, I have kind of unique hair, I would say. And when I heard the tournament was going on, Casey was kind of telling the team that we were going to
Uh,
nominate 3 or 4 girls to go for the women's division. And we set up a poll on our team to nominate who we wanted amongst ourselves. And then it
mhm.
got submitted to well, first we had to take all the pictures, and that was a whole mess in
Right.
itself. Those got submitted to Kyle, the commissioner, and then
Mhm.
there was a panel of sports broadcasters. We had a Zoom meeting about it. I don't really know how I became the number one seed. I guess I found favor among the panel, but
Yeah,
I'm
among
very
somebody.
thankful. Yeah, but you can vote on Instagram. It would, I mean, it would just be great for our team to get that funding for next season and putting it towards flights. And ice time nationals, it would just really be a great help. So I'm happy that I can be a part of it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a cool initiative going on with College Hockey South this year. For those of you listening, if you wanted to vote for Leah and anyone else in the men's and women's division across College Hockey South for the Best in Flow tournament, you can go on to collegehockeysouth.com/bestinflow to vote there for who you want to win. And so the winners for that tournament will be announced on February 18th. So that's something fun that's going on this year. And also going on in February is going to be the conference tournament for you guys up in Clarksville, Tennessee. I was curious, like, what is kind of like the goals for you guys? Like, obviously, like these last two games to end the regular season, like heading into playoffs. Like, what are your sort of goals like to accomplish, in this first official season for you guys?
I mean, obviously, keeping up that undefeated would be great. I mean, I think a lot of the girls we have are eyes set on nationals.
Mm-hmm.
We're taking it one game at a time, though. You can't look too far in the future. You have to take everybody in every game seriously. So, but we're looking for that. I'm looking for that Natty Championship, and
Yeah.
I think we all got that in mind.
Yeah, I definitely say with this being the first year of the program, we want that title where that's our long-term goal. That's what we're looking for. But within that short-term goal, we're looking at finishing the season strong. We're looking at just getting there and how we can put our best foot forward and what we can do all together, work together, and just to accomplish those little goals that we have.
Yeah, no, I was going to mention that. I think I didn't want to mention the national championship. It's obviously like a little bit down the road, but I know that that's kind of where you guys have your eyes set on, just because that's how good you guys have been playing so far this season. So it's gonna be definitely interesting to see once that time comes, because we've got a few hurdles to get through before we get to that point. So it's gonna be fun to see how you guys end up trending after the conference tournament goes on. So I wanted to ask something to both of you guys about how you sort of ended up on Tampa as far as like a university. And did you guys plan on coming to UT to play hockey? Was it something that you guys were always wanting to do? Obviously, like the University of Tampa's got so many students from out of state and everything. And I think the hockey team is kind of reflective of that as well. I was wondering what was kind of like the biggest selling point for you guys wanting to come to UT and play hockey.
So I'm from Virginia, so I'm actually from up north. And I actually didn't start hockey till high school. I had some buddies on a team and we were co-ed, and they were like, hey, we're playing. We lost every game this season. You want to play? And I was looking for something to do in the winter as a break between soccer, because that's where I was a goalie at. And I was like, sure, why not? It's good conditioning, skating, I could do that. So I picked it up as a wing. And then I looked at Tampa just because I wanted to do marine biology, and they have a phenomenal program for that. And I just loved Florida, the warmth, can't beat the beach and the sun. So I actually got down here, and I was not looking at playing any sort of sport in college. I didn't even know that they had ice hockey. And then I had a friend who was on the team, met her freshman year, and she was on the team, and she was, well, why don't you come out and play? Like, it's not too serious right now because, it was COVID, so we're only practicing. And I was like, sure, why not? Something to do. I fell in love with it in high school and wanted to keep playing. So luckily I found that, and I've stuck with it since and have had great opportunities educationally and then with hockey as well.
It's awesome.
So for me, I was born and raised in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said earlier, I played travel hockey my whole life. And I actually moved down to Florida for the Florida Alliance program. So that kind of contributed me advancing in my hockey career, wanted to go up north. And then I think after COVID hit, I kind of just realized I wanted to take a step back, and I stopped playing travel hockey. And I had plans to maybe take a gap year and travel after high school. But then my cousin, who is more like my sister, who's actually from Virginia, like Katie, came down to UT, and I knew they had a girls program, but I just wasn't that sure about it. I ended up just seeing the Instagram, and we had a little a recruitment link that you could fill out, and I was just like, oh, why not? I'll just go fill this out. And I knew Casey, and I played with our coach's daughter. But I think after my cousin came and I saw that the hockey program had plans to kind of get into College Hockey South and AAU, it was kind of that was obviously a major selling point. I mean, the school is beautiful. They have a great business program, which I'm a part of. But I mean, UT is actually the only school I applied to, but I'm so happy here, and it's everything I could ask for, honestly.
Gotcha. Yeah, that seems to be like the sense that a lot of people have about UT. Like everyone, so many people come in from out of state and they don't end up wanting to leave. So it's definitely a popular place. So I guess one last question I have for both of you guys. Katie, I know you said you had gotten like a little bit of a late start, like around the game. Like, did you have like any, this is to both of you guys, but did you guys like have any like moments where with like people or like experiences and like places like around the game of hockey that kind of like spurred your sort of love for the game and like your interests? I was just curious, like where, I got a little bit of that from you, Katie, about like where it kind of started, but I'm just curious, like where you guys like love for hockey really originated from.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up watching hockey. We would actually go watch the Hershey Bears play all the time because
Yeah.
they were right by me, and it's good old hockey. It's cheap seats, can't complain. So, I guess like I just grew up watching it, and then like I said, I had friends that had played, and they're like, why not? And then just from there, I'd loved being a goalie my entire life with soccer. Like I played soccer since I was 3, but I'm 5'2", so I have no chance for college soccer with that
Right.
kind of a height. But with the hockey nets, they're a little lower, so I had a little bit more of a shot with that one.
Sure.
But yeah, so then once the opportunity opened, our grad student graduated, I wanted to try it again in a different sense, and I've loved it ever since. But I think it's just the position, the team, everything like that just kept me wanting to stay in it.
Gotcha.
I guess my love for hockey originated. I mean, my dad played in the beer league, so I remember being 5 years old and going to his games. He played a little bit growing up, but nothing seriously. But my one memory, the first thing I can remember is I was sitting in the living room with my family, and I have an older brother. But my dad walked in, and we were talking about, I guess, starting sports, or my parents wanted to put us in sports. And my dad was like, "Oh, Andrew, who's my brother, Andrew can be a hockey player and Leah can be a figure skater." And I said, "No, I want to play hockey."
Yeah.
And I was on skates the next week.
Yeah, there you go.
We were a billet family growing up when I was in elementary school, so I guess that kept it kind of around. But it's always been such an escape from hockey's definitely an escape from reality, but it's always just been such a peaceful thing that I can keep in my life, and I always have that, and it's given me great life lessons, community, everything. So
Gotcha. Yeah, like going off of that, like you mentioned like the life lessons and everything. Like I was curious, like so much of like the emphasis like around like at this level of the game in college is like kind of using like your experiences and like your teammates and like the connections that you make like for building like for your career like after your time in college and after hockey's over. Like how valuable you think like are the experiences like with your teammates and like being a part of this team, as far as like moving that towards your future careers after college?
yeah, I mean, it's great. I think hockey's definitely taught me time management, and working as a team is something that you're going to use forever, whether it be at work or you have to work to get along with people and work towards goals. And hockey's definitely facilitated that type of growth in me. But I mean, I plan to take those things throughout the rest of my life, and I think I will. But hockey's definitely, I think most of the people I know that play hockey are kind of the same mindset, very team oriented, and it's just good. I'm so thankful for what it's made me or changed me to be.
Yeah, and kind of piggybacking off her, I would agree. I definitely think the teamwork, the communication, all that has followed. And with me starting a little bit later, it's definitely taught me the never give up, just keep working hard, all that good stuff that'll take you long and far. So yeah, I mean, and with a great team, it helps you all keep each other motivated.
Yeah, I was gonna say like hockey's like the ultimate team game really, and it's been impressive to see you guys like come together as a team in your first season and being able to accomplish what you guys have. So Leah, Katie, I want to say thanks so much to you guys for joining us. I wanted to mention just again to everybody, the reminder, 3:15 Tampa women taking on the USF women at Advent Health Center Ice. If you can't make it, it's gonna be streamed on the College Hockey South YouTube channel as our game of the week. And if you're feeling real crazy and you want to go to 2 Tampa hockey games in one night, you can definitely do that because they're playing against Miami as well at the Nest Hockey Academy as well Friday night. So make sure that you are checking these girls out. It's going to be an awesome weekend. So thanks again to you guys for joining us.
Yes,
Yeah, thanks
thank
for
you.
having us.
Yeah, you got it.